check the error codes on a Whirlpool Duet Dryer, press these three buttons 3 different times in this sequence right here. It'll pull up codes if you have one. This one's a F4E4. Now this error code means typically low power or a power issue. But we're going to go over several things with this dryer because there's multiple parts that can cause this problem. The first thing you're going to want to do is go to the back of the dryer and remove all the screws around the perimeter. There's a few in the middle also. The first thing to check is here. See your main power. It's coming into this box and connection here. Make sure there's no broke wires and also that you have the proper voltage. This one's good to go. The problem with this dryer is it runs but there's no heat. So there's a lot of different parts that can go wrong when you have that issue. So I'm going to go over most of them here today and you can see what problem you may have. You also have a few screws on the top here. One here on the left side and 2 on the right. I already removed the one there on the left, but you have to remove those also just to get that back panel off. Now down here on the bottom of the dryer, you're going to see most of the components we'll be checking today. First off is the heating element. What we're going to do is disconnect these wires and check for continuity with a multimeter. I'm going to put my meter here to the continuity setting. When I touch the 2 prongs together, it's going to beep and make a noise to let me know that there's a complete circuit in whatever I'm testing. So when I go back to the heating element, we're going to test it by touching the 2 ends of the wire connections, just like this. Yeah, this one's good to go. The heating element is okay. If it didn't beep at my multimeter, that means there could be a break in the heating element. Next step is to check this. This is a thermal fuse. Same thing here. If I don't have continuity and I have an open circuit, then that's the issue. And we would need to replace that. This one's good though. If your thermal fuse is bad, it's a pretty easy change. There's just 2 screws there, one on the top, one on the bottom, and you take those out and put the new one in and reconnect your wires. Now this isn't a step you have to take, but I did it anyway to show you what it looks like inside here. Down here on the bottom is the heating element, and I'm just gonna do a visual check and make sure there's no break in there or anything like that. If there was, we would need to replace it, of course. Now this is a common part that goes bad for the F4E4 error code. So test this one with the continuity on your multimeter, and if it's bad, replace it and you should be good to go. Now finally, after checking all those parts and they seem to be working properly, we're going to go ahead and replace this circuit board as it's the last thing that it could possibly be. It's pretty easy to change out. There's some wire connections here that you want to remove and disconnect and reconnect on your new circuit board. Now some of these wire connections have these tabs that you want to squeeze down, and that'll release the wire connection from the circuit board. So keep that in mind so you don't break anything. There's also a screw you want to remove to get the old circuit board out. Once you do that, you'll lift up and slide the circuit board, and that'll disconnect it from the bracket there. Same step to get the new one back in, and of course reconnect your wire connections back into their correct spots. Another important step I want to mention is make sure that you have this bracket here on top. Otherwise, if you forget and it's laying down like that, it's going to rub on this drum here and make a really loud noise while your dryer's running. You don't want to forget that step. So make sure you get a screw back into this top bracket here, and you'll be good to go. And obviously don't forget to put all your screws back into the back panel. This dryer's good to go. New circuit board in. The drum is turning. We have hot air coming out of the back. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.